What's up, kind people of YouTube? My name's Ahmed, and today I want to talk to you about Wonka. And let's get this thing right, okay? First of all, I want to talk about the sheer number of prequels, sequels, and unnecessary spin-offs that's been happening in the last 5, 10 years. We don't need any more sequels, prequels, spin-offs. Why are they still making Fast and Furious films? Just do something else. That Snow White debacle, the whole thing, dude. It's just getting weird. It's getting to a point where I'm like, why are these shows and movies and TV shows, why are these films getting approved? Not that I have anything against Wonka. Wonka was a mixed bag for me. It could have been so much more. It could, if done right, it would have been a movie that I could have recommended to a lot of people, but it's not done right. I wish it was done right, but it's not done right. Now, the biggest issue with Wonka is it had the potential to be a good film, but because it's set as a prequel, it kind of misses and does not land in a lot of places. Like, okay, the story is about a young Wonka trying to achieve his lifelong goal of becoming the leading chocolate manufacturer across the area that he's living and make the best chocolates that he can. But the issue is, we already know that he's successful. So if it was an original story, it might have landed much better. It could have been just brilliantly done, and they could have made a few changes. They could have just, I'm glad they didn't remake it. So that's one good thing about the film. But the fact that it feels so unrealistic because of how it's done. Okay, Charlie and the Chocolate Factory was done really well, and I'm a big fan of Charlie and the Chocolate Factory, the original, and even the remake is done really well. But Wonka is somehow missing the mark in that sense. The narrative is decent, it follows a young and ambitious Wonka, and the execution ultimately falls short because it does not really create an impactful situation for a lot of the audience members. Like, it wasn't as impactful that I hoped it would be. One of the biggest issues that Wonka faces is that he's selling chocolate without having a proper registered business in the business area, and that's an issue that he wants to fight. Dude, like, at this point, you're talking about Charlie and the Chocolate Factory, you're talking about Wonka, and if that's one of the corporate issues that you're facing, it's not realistic. I can understand why they're trying to do it, and I can understand, like, social commentary perspective. You're trying to create a story that does a social commentary on how younger entrepreneurs are stopped by bigger corporations, but even then it does not land properly. Like, it could have had a lot more humor in the film, it could have had a lot more justification, it could have been sharper is my point. It could have been edited much better, it could have had a sharper narrative structure, and that does not happen. One of the things that Wonka really wants to deal with is the irony between kids selling lemonade and Wonka trying to sell chocolate, and somebody watching the film as someone who's trying to suspend their beliefs for some time. I can understand that perspective. I can truly understand that perspective, but somehow it did not land with me. It was a mixed bag. Timothy Chalamet performance was brilliant. I loved his performance in the film, but his character definition was really good. Within the limitations of the film, he does a really good job, but that's not enough for the film to be carried just by him. It fails in different aspects. Like, the story could have been stronger. There could have been things that would have, like, I'm running out of words to tell you that it could have been much sharper. It could have had a lot more humor, but it does not, and that's the issue with the film. Overall, would I recommend it? Maybe not. Like, you can avoid the film. I had forgotten that I'd watched the film until I opened my scripts and I realized that I had written something about it, so I'm like, might as well make a video about it. So yeah, you can avoid it. Peace, and I will see you in the next one really soon.